Welcome to this third Saturday Satsang. In my email, I finished saying as a third Saturday Satsang, para one last line I missed. A third Saturday Satsang is simply not a third Saturday. Why did I say that? There is much more to that. A third Saturday Satsang contains so much more than the third Saturday. It is just a beginning. It is never the end, because very often Uncle continues from the previous satsang continuously. I said also, who is Shirdi Baba? I quoted a famous saying, the name you know, the Sadguru you trust. Between knowing and trusting, there are light years. It is like the universe. Sripada Sri Vallabha in his book says, Charitamritam, he says that the wall of the universe, between several universes, the very wall itself is so many million light years. The very wall. And then you get into the universe and then go into that. So that is the number of light years. That is the distance I am looking at between your knowing Shirdi Baba and developing a trust in Shirdi Baba. Perhaps this is also true if you have developed enough trust, a lot of trust. Can I say this remark? I will. You won't be here for the satsang. If you have developed that kind of trust that I am willing to impart to you, I am willing to help you develop. I am within Sai. I have seen him and I have had conversations with Shirdi Baba hundreds and thousands of times as a child, and as an adult 3 times. Is it the Hollywood background music? I welcome that. So, considering the distance, you got to have, again, Sripada Sri Vallabha, Sumati Maharani. You have to take thousands and lakhs of years, lakhs is 100,000 for people who are born here. So many births you take, and then you still don't understand the trust. If you get into that trust, T-R-U-S-T, then becomes your life very interesting phase. Then you will see Shirdi Baba every day. In every action that you do, literally everything you say, very little things I say, with so many calls I get even today, how come they all become true? There is one devotee who understood what exactly is going on in this world. She wants to marry somebody in Seattle, and then he goes through an album, sent into one of the album pictures. She is appearing as a 2-year-old child, and then her sister, elder sister, is appearing as a 3-year-old child or 4-year-old child. The gentleman about to marry, who was considering this lady in the southern city to marry, he goes through that album and looks at the child, and the next evening phone call he says, "Hey, I went through the album, and the 2-year-old child that you are, you look like a perfect rebel." A 2-year-old girl appearing like a rebel. So when she is 34 years old, she will be about 34 by 2. You do the math, okay? That many times a rebel, right? Is a mathematics quick, right? That many times a rebel, you are considering to marry a rebel? You must be a very great rebel. Because a snake knows the tail of a snake. There is a saying in Telugu, Tamil, Hindi. Only a snake knows the teeth of another snake. There is no teeth. That's the nature of a snake. So he says, you must be a very big rebel. That's the end of the story, Seattle story. That lady is no longer considering. In 2 years, when you see a picture of a boy or a girl, how do you recognize he's a rebel? Similarly, look at that. There is a big lesson there. When you are coming to Shirdi Baba, You go to Shirdi, and then, I have known everything. Shirdi Baba is far ahead, as he proved in the case of Ratna. Is Ratna here? Ratna Sirisha is a very great devotee who is living in this city. She once went to Kashi and Baba said, I'll be far ahead of you in Kashi. In Kashi, she was trying to get a roadside vendor. She was trying to get some bonda or something. And then there was an old man who offered bonda he was eating. Little did she know that that was Shirdi Baba. And then she was looking at her, provided everything, and then she went and left, not knowing that was Shirdi Baba, the old man, and then she went to another city and then came to Shirdi. Ratna was standing in the Samadhi Mandir and Shirdi Baba was saying, far ahead of you, I already come back to Shirdi. I met with you in Kashi, Varanasi. Baba does all these things. He is far ahead of you. This is a practical example. If Ratna is here, she would have raised her hand. It really happened. So much is happening in your life. Baba knows as your God. He knows when you are supposed to develop trust, when is he going to start you on the trust, otherwise you will be knowing. If you only know, this is what is going to happen. Uncle sends an email. This morning I asked a gentleman in Austin, did you read the email? Yes, uncle, I read it last night itself. Okay, what is the quote first? Shirdi Baba, under that 2 lines. What is that? They were all saying, forgive me, my friend in Austin. They didn't get this statement. The statement was Shirdi Baba, the title in my email, saying the person you know, the name you know, and the Sadguru you trust. When you read an email, your mind is not glued to even knowing Shirdi Baba. You don't even know Shirdi Baba. You profess to come to the puja. Uncle is saying 2 stories, 3 stories. Excellent stories of Narahari, who lived for the maximum number of days ever lived by a Shirdi Baba devotee when he was in physical form was Narahari. 21 days. You remember the story? 21 days. A big snake came, nothing. Baba said, you don't shout. Don't cry. Several things I am going to teach you tonight, and the big snake came. And then several informations Baba delivered. Next day, that day. And then he gave the footprints. He gave the footprints of a right hand of a gentleman who was to be born 20 years hence. That was an MBBS doctor. Remember his name? Dr. Javeri. Remember, right? Javeri was taken aback when in his life 3 incidents were told by Narahari. This is what Baba does. If you don't even recollect the title I'm sending you 4 days in advance, maybe I'll send it 1 week in advance from next week. Sapna Garu? You heard me, right? 2 days earlier. They will forget. They will read it 20 times. They will forget by the time they come here. I ask this question because the trust that you develop is what is going to help you in your life. The child in Houston, 4 years old, 2 years old, not one word came out of the mouth growing up in the Telugu circumstances of Andhra Pradesh, and then he didn't even speak one Telugu word. I at least know one word, Bhavnara. The child never spoke. Nothing in Telugu, and then they were trying to find out. The doctors were trying, everything failed. He came to me and the Udi was given. He came, after some time he came to Houston. Now that boy is going to the puja and he is looking at the screen and he is able to even see Uncle, Baba Uncle. You must know how and stages of Shirdi Baba. For every person's destiny, your destiny is her destiny. So many people, thousands and thousands of people I can keep on telling. Every destiny is different. And when Lord Shiva is mixing Sanchita karma with the prarabdha karma, that is how the destiny is made. It is all depending on the Lord Shiva, who is mixing up and then collecting, and then like the game he throws, and that's what becomes your destiny, and then you get a shape. The long line and the big jostling crowd in any temple on Rudrabhishekam day, Lord Shiva's day. Only Shiva doesn't go because, hey, I'm Shiva. Both Shivas are smiling. The competing two Shivas, whose bhakti levels are also competing. That is the reason Lord Shiva is in great demand. In a way, your destiny, whether you go to engineering college or medical college, of the 42 colleges the fellow gave me, how come this Pennsylvania college was chosen and he ended up there? Knowingly or unknowingly. One of the 42. In Boston, he insisted, Mama, you tell me exactly which college I'll go. Tick 3 colleges. I erased 2, 1 college. The one above is another college. Mama, I want to go to that college. I said, you cannot go and Baba will not allow. Mama, give me a good reason. All my reasons are good. You are not being allowed to go to that college. About 80 miles away from Albert Einstein. It's a medical school. Where he went, 80 miles from then, anybody know this story? His future wife was studying medicine. When future wife and the future husband, this gentleman whose mother is standing there asking me, why this not this college? Because they should not meet. Then they will study anything but medicine. Medicine will become artificial intelligence. So this real story, I don't think they are listening. They both became graduates. They came to New Jersey. They came to Connecticut. The last I heard about 5 years ago, they were in Connecticut. Both are thriving doctors, not surviving doctors. Had he gone to that college 80 miles away, they would have become artificial intelligence experts. Intelligent people, they said, let's not do medicine. Let's get married and then go and do AI. Such destinies I see every day. Every day I see these destinies who come to me and talk to me and get solutions. People say, Mama, how is that possible? It is possible because I'm going to tell you the story of getting just an image. Getting, yes. I'm forgetting the word. What is the opposite of Nirguna? Sadguna, okay. Saguna form, okay. In the Sadguru form of Nirguna, which is very, very important, Nirguna has got an absolute connection between developing trust. A good example, I can tell you, slightly off the tangent. Today, in Austin, one person, Sai Kiran and Niharika are doing the puja. Tell you what, this is not just a name. Niharika writes to me, devotion to Shirdi Baba has always been an integral part of my family. How come? For generations to come, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, whose name was Sri, her grandmother, her grandfather is Deva Bhaktuni Raghavaya, and that is the great-grandfather, and they started devotion to Shirdi Baba from his times. This is her family. Her husband's family, her husband's great-grandmother, his name was Anasuya Amma. The Anasuya Amma lived to be 95 years old. She was so enamored of Shirdi Baba, Shirdi Sai. And then what happened was, she was doing puja every day. And then one day Shirdi Baba appeared in her dream and said, build a temple for me. Look at this family. They are doing the puja for the first time in Austin. And then they have this background. And then she performed, she built a temple in near Nizamabad. Its village name is Pantagurd. They couldn't, our Shiva uncle couldn't find out in the internet. It's near Nizamabad. The temple was built in 1995-96. And this is a great-grandmother, husband's great-grandfather, and they both combined together. They are all doing the puja for the last 30, 35, 40 years. How did they develop? She very much wanted to do a puja, and she got the puja for today. She writes so many things about Shirdi Baba. So that is Niharika. I'm sure there are so many Niharikas here. There are so many Sai Kirans are here. But then, how was this story of Keshav Pradhan? For all of you know, Keshav Pradhan was simply an atheist. He didn't believe in God. He didn't believe in any saints. He didn't believe in anybody. He believed in his wife. Okay. Pradhanji believed, and then he believed the beautiful surroundings and the nature surrounding nestling Bhivpuri. Bhivpuri happened to be the temple in 1916 when Shirdi Baba was still living. That was the first temple they built. Long ago I covered the story. Today I am saying that story because knowing Shirdi Baba, he was not even knowing. He didn't want to go. He had a friend who was a very great devotee of Shirdi Baba in the Aspas Mein. This is 1914, 1915, 1916. Case of Ramachandra Pradhan, we will call him Pradhan. Pradhanji used to work for a debt collector in Mumbai. He used to go from Bhivpuri by train. He will be commuting to, you know the train's name. He'd go there to Mumbai, and from Mumbai he will go all the way to Nasik, and then Kopargaon, Nasik, and then one more famous place near Neemgaon, and all these places which Shirdi Baba went by walk. He used to go there and then collect all the money and come back. Every time he used to go very close to Shirdi, his friend, a great devotee of Shirdi Baba, would say, "Hey, Pradhanji, aap aa jao, let's go to Shirdi." And then he never believed in Shirdi. Every time he will say no, a big no. And then the friend was a little bit picked. And he said once, "Hey, you come." He started pestering, and therefore, okay, in order to tolerate, satisfy his best friend, he collected all the money. He had 2,500 rupees in his pocket. They both went. They both reached Shirdi. They were staying there. One of the conditions with which this fellow Pradhan went was, "You go there, my dear friend, you go into that. When the Aarti, noon Aarti starts, I'll stay back in the Shaudi." No, not the Shaudi, the other one, okay? What's the name? The other one? Huh? No. Shaudi, the other name. Okay, I forgot. Vada. Yeah, I'll stay in the Vada. Dikshit Vada. Okay, yeah, Dikshit Vada. All these Vada. I'll stay in one of the Vadas, and then you go inside. Okay, he stayed back in the Vada. His friend went there. And while the friend was walking, the gongs started playing from Dwarakamayi. The gong was so divine. The very noise was penetrating the Vada, or Vada. And then he could not stay there. There was some magic about the gong coming all the way from Dwarakamayi. A friend has already reached, and Shirdi Baba was sitting there. And Pradhanji, just without even knowing, unbeknownst to know, he started walking. He started walking towards Shirdi Baba. He just entered Dwarakamayi. He stayed there at the entrance. In a corner, he sat down. When he sat down, the entire Aarti was over. The Aarti was over. His friend, all the other people went there, touched his feet, and then got the Udi. When this fellow started looking at Shirdi Baba, I started tearing up. Shedding tears, he moved towards Shirdi Baba, and then he just touched his feet. When he touched his feet, Baba just blessed him. You are a very good man, because Baba knew his future. He touched him, and then he was again and again, he was doing namaskar to Shirdi Baba. And then when he woke up, Baba said, "You wake up. Utto." And then when he woke up, first thing he asked was, "Give me dakshina." He was in a state of bliss. First time when you go to Samadhi Mandir, like Narasimha Swami, he went there first all the way from Sakori. He went there. I won't describe anything. He just found his guru. When he went to Samadhi Mandir, he said he was in search of a guru right from Narmada Maharishi to everybody else in Pune, in Nasik, and then he went to Sakori. Sakori, everywhere he said, "You are not my guru, you are not my guru." Baba had to come as a patan on the outskirts of Sakori, and then said, "You come, it's only 8 kilometers. You please come there." He went there, he found. The first time when he went to Samadhi Mandir, he has written in his volume 3, a beautiful essay of how he felt. The same feeling Pradhanji had. And then when Pradhanji didn't even know what he was doing, he said, "Give me the dakshina." Right? Lord Shiva says, what does he say in the soap opera? Right, he says, "Give me the dakshina." Give me the dakshina 3 times, okay? So similarly he says, and then Pradhanji puts his hand in his pocket, he takes out all the money, which is 2,500 rupees, and then gives it back to the hands of Shirdi Baba. Shirdi Baba wants to prove something. When he wants to develop your trust, he will do things like this. Keshav Pradhan didn't understand. He gave all the money This is what Shirdi Baba does. That's why I tried to go off the tangent. And then he went to the Vada. When he went to the Vada, he was still in a bliss mode, and then he couldn't understand, and then suddenly he found he had given all the money to Shirdi Baba. My boss is sitting in Bombay, and then I owe him 2,500 rupees. In those days, 1916, 1914, even 300 rupees, even 3 rupees was a lot of money, because Shama's salary was 3 rupees per month as a teacher. And Ramachandra Atmaram Tharkad, as a manager, was making 3,000 rupees. 3,000 rupees every month. It is something like $100,000 every month. Any IT is making $100,000 every month? They may still be making, I don't know. Maybe Sundar Pichai, maybe one of the Shivas down the road. So why I am saying is, Pradhan understood I am in a big trouble. The friend came and he told friend, he was wailing, he was crying, and then the friend said, when Shirdi Baba takes 2,500 rupees from you, he will give you 10 times. He knows a way to solve this problem. So don't be worried, don't be afraid. So go. He went back. He went back where? Bhuvpuri. He went to Bhuvpuri and wrote a long, short telegram that I am sick. He cannot face his boss, right? So I am sick, and as soon as I get ready, I'll come. This is general telegram. And then the boss prompt came the reply, thank you so much. You take as many days as you want, and it's a nice work you did, but I don't understand. Listen to this. I don't understand why you sent 5,000 rupees to me. You owed me only 2,500 rupees. Hello? Only twice. Baba could have managed 10 times 2,500, 2,500. 25,000. Baba sent immediately. Pradhan understood, this is the Leela of Baba. Shirdi Baba sent this 5,000 rupees, and then they gave me even 1 more week, 2 more weeks of leave, holiday, and then Keshav Pradhan was extremely, extremely happy. When this is the kind of life when Pradhan was leading, he was going every time. After this, Pradhanji was going to Shirdi. Very often, Baba said, don't come to Shirdi anymore. But then he didn't like it. So Baba, one of the visits in 1916, he gave a statue. Some of you would have seen the statue in some of the books, the photograph. He gave a statue and then said, go and install this in Bhuvpuri, build a temple next to your home. In a beautiful environment, his home in Bhuvpuri. Even today, if you go by train from Mumbai, just before Karjat station, aap to jante hain, just before that there's a Bhuvpuri road. In the Bhuvpuri road, you alight from the train, and then look at the right side, you will see the spire of Shirdi Baba's temple. Sylvan surroundings, you will see Shirdi Baba's tower, spire. And then you go there. Even today, the pristine surroundings of Bhuvpuri are maintained. Even though Pradhanji died in 1939, and his son and son's family, they are maintaining the Singh, and then Hematpan's son-in-law, Hematpan's great-grandson is maintaining the temple. They got a dhuni and everything. And therefore, Baba is saying, the first step, go and start a temple there. That is, Bhuvpuri is your Shirdi. Don't come to Shirdi. That is your temple, and that is where I will come and see you. Don't come. And then next time, this fellow is completely overtaken by Shirdi Baba. So next time he goes there, he went there, didn't make any attempt to bring any temple next to his home, which is what he did after the next visit. He went there, Baba got angry. Baba said, don't get into the Samadhi Mandir, you go there and then build the temple. So he went there. It's like R.B. Purandare, he got very angry. So Pradhanji comes there, he builds a beautiful temple and then establishes that statue. The temple has got a back room where Shirdi Baba is there, and then the huge hall. Outside the hall is a veranda, and veranda on both sides has got 4 or 5 rooms on either side. That's the temple graphically described. The temple started there. Slowly, devotees started coming. One day, night, 3 o'clock, Pradhanji had guests. 2-3 guests and 2-3 children are there. At 3 a.m., there was a door opening. The temple door was opening. And that very temple he built. There is no God or nobody. These are all early times, right? 1916 when Shirdi Baba was live. and it was coming. Everybody woke up to see. They were very curious to see what's going on in the temple. Somebody is stealing something. There was no camera in those days, all right, to see the gloves and all that. You can't see the ring that Baba is wearing because there is no camera. Even there, everybody saw Shirdi Baba coming out of the temple and sitting there under the tree. The tree is still there. There's a plaque reading that Shirdi Baba used to sit there. And they saw that. Next day, they were very all agog to see what's going on. At 12 o'clock, Shirdi Baba again came into the temple. At 3 a.m., he got out of the temple. Baba said that is my Shirdi, that is your Shirdi, that is where I will be. Don't come to Shirdi, Shirdi. That happened. And they were all bamboozled. They were all very surprised. Pradhanji now developed a trust. He started as an atheist, right? He didn't believe in any saint. Definitely not in Shirdi Baba. He told a friend, I'll be outside the temple. I won't come and touch his feet. His friend said, okay. And this is the guy who went and Sashtanga Namaskar and then 2,500. All these things have happened. Pradhanji built so much into the temple, and then I'm not getting into the temple when the Duni was prepared and the Duni was laid. I'm not getting into that story now because several things happened. Just like the temple of Dada, finish the statement. Kadam. Dada Kadam's temple where? In? You have forgotten just 2 months ago. Huh? Ratnagiri, right. Thank you. Ratnagiri temple, I have asked everybody who goes to Hyderabad, that is India, and Pune, and then Nasik, and then Ahmedabad, and Mumbai. You go to Ratnagiri because this temple you go and ask, you are going to go there next visit. You go and ask anything you want in Ratnagiri temple in front of the Duni, you get it. You meet a gentleman in front of Ratnagiri temple and then, Baba, I want to marry the gentleman. No. He is not going to allow you to do that. Some people are trying that. They called me and said, Mama, anything you will give, anything dharmic. A dharmic request Baba gives you. Mama, will he give Powerball numbers? He might. People are so mad after money, or moneyed men, or moneyed woman. This is how people do not develop trust. All right? How do you develop trust? Let us go to the next story. After all, Uncle brings stories. I have a story for so many people here. Probably there are 60 people sitting there. I have 61 stories. People think, how do Mama know? How does he know me? Mama doesn't know me. I know the story of a little 2-year-old girl who is called Rebel. I know the future dean of the UNT Medical College in Denton, sitting right there. I know the North American chief of TCS, executive vice president, sitting there. These are all people designed to rule the world. These are all people who are designed to come closer to Shirdi Baba. How he does it is what I told you. An atheist becoming so close, right? Mr. Tambi is watching me all agog to know the next story because I know his story also. I call him Mr. Tambi to make it a little American. I was talking with a 8-year-old boy in Austin. I forgot his name, but the father and mother in their home, they are doing the puja for Houston today. Hello, Praveen. That boy was talking in wonderful English. Look at the humor, wonderful English, and the parents were not able to manage. They were living here for 15 years. This boy is just 8 years. Born here, okay, give it to him. Beautiful English, he was able to talk with me. And then I said, how do you teach your parents the American English? You speak such a good English. Pat comes a reply. Mama, I have told several times. What did you tell? I told my mom, who talks pretty good Indian English. I don't understand anything. So what is the solution, my dear boy? His name you forgot, right? He is listening. I know he is watching. Thank you, Praveen. He says, Mama, put your tongue out. and then go around with the tongue. You just twist your tongue and talk in English. That is American English. He told me the same answer. He's laughing. I can see him in Austin. Oh, sorry, Houston. Not Austin. Houston. Austin is the first devotee I mentioned in Houston. So, how many people you are teaching this technique? I said, lot of friends. They're all talking very good English. All right. So next time visit, I'll teach you, Mama. All right. I already seem to speak good English. I don't need it, but I'll know your English. Perfect American accent, 8-year-old boy. Of course, they go to school here. They are born here. The next story is a Parsi devotee, Jalmani Shinoy. It's a very invigorating story. His life is full of miracles. From 1959 to 1980, 21 years of story after story after story. How many of you here? Nobody would have read about Jal, right? What's his name? Jalmani Shinoy, LRS Mani. You wouldn't have read these stories. There are 8 to 10 stories written by an author, very great author, who is a PhD in theology about Shirdi Baba. I took the story. I read the story with a great interest several times. Jalmani Shinoy lived in Nagpur. From knowing to developing trust, this perhaps is the best story. This fellow, when the author met with him, he was 77 years old, and then when he was 77, he was a heart patient. He had a cardiologist, and then he had other physical ailments. He was very lonely. That's another illness. It's a medical illness, very lonely, because his wife, Mani, passed away about 2 years ago. And then they were very close couple. So in 1997, when the author was introducing, he was not at all talking. He was very lonely, very depressed. The author said, Baba has done so much in your life, therefore give me a hint of all the things. He instantly wrote 8 miracles, outstanding miracles, of which 5 stories I am going to give you, provided the host say, Mama, you have time. I have time. Because I get lost in so many stories. I might have brought 3 to 30 stories, but then I shouldn't go from story to story. I already finished what? Bhivpuri story. And in Bhivpuri story, you would have noticed something. Last time I covered Pradhan's some other part of his life. I don't go through the same life. This 2500 is new to you this time. Similarly, I am coming to Jalmani Shinoy's different story. In May 1959, he was serving in the Accountant General's, Deputy Accountant General, DAG's office in Nagpur. Because he was living in Nagpur, right? So this fellow was very strict. He wanted strict compliance of all his orders. Whatever he says, you have to obey. Otherwise, he will fire you, right? You are fired. And nobody is hiring anybody. He fires people. His name is Mr. Chawla, real names. Mr. Chawla is a very strict man, and therefore on a Saturday, he calls, he is his boss. He was a manager, right? Jalmani Shinoy. So we will call him Jalmani, okay? Jalmani is called on a Saturday afternoon and says a very tough job was given to him. And the manager, Mr. Chawla, the DAG, told him, hey, my daughter is appearing for a metric exam in Dhiran Kanya Shala. That's the name of a school in Nagpur. She's appearing there, but I want her seat to be transferred. I want her to appear in Bishop Cotton High School. Bishop Cotton High School is very close to his DAG's bungalow. That was the only reason he had. Since the manager is boss's boss, this fellow was asking, and that fellow said, Kar denge saab, haan saab, ji sir. So all these things he said, and then he said, he went straight. He is a very great, prominent Shirdi Baba devotee in Nagpur, even in those days. So he goes straight to Shirdi Baba and said, Baba, show me a way how to achieve this. That is a Saturday, the exam next is a Sunday, and you all guessed the exam starts on a Monday. Did I say Monday? I always say Monday. Why? There's Monday night football. All right. On a Monday, they start that examination morning. Shilpa, so serious? You already know the story? You are getting lost in the story. You are very concentrated, right? Your eyes are straight on the mic and my face and the book. He is praying, and he knows, because he has got to develop a lot of trust. is on his way to develop further trust through these 8 miracles, of which 5 I am going to describe, provided I have some more time. Cotton Bishop School, he has to deal with Dhiran Kanya Shala. So he doesn't know, and then when he talks with the Shirdi Baba, he thinks of Shirdi Baba, a beautiful plan descends on him, he gets a plan in his mind. So he first goes to the secretary of the metric board in Nagpur. Secretary of the metric board, school examination board, he goes there, and then that person, even right in the beginning, is a very tough nut to crack. He says, I cannot do that. I cannot change, because when changing, you got to understand this thing. In one school, if they do, we got to arrange, all the tables have been arranged already in Dhiran Kanya Shala, and I got to change all these things -1. The rows will be completely confused, the local people will be confused, and also the other person in Bishop Cotton may not agree. Therefore, the Secretary of Board of Education Nagpur says, I cannot do that. But this fellow doesn't take no for an answer. Who? Our Jalmani, Shinoy. So he keeps on convincing him that you got to do that. He even says, our boss knows lots of ministers and all that. He cajoles him, and finally the secretary of the board says it's okay, provided you should do everything. You should physically get the table in Dhiran Kanya Shala and change it. One table should be minus in that school, and you got to physically get hold of. We don't have any peons. In those days in India, the attenders, they are called peons. Okay, so these people are not there because it's going to be a Sunday. So not Sunday, Monday and Sunday. No, Sunday and Monday. All right, I am getting confused. He gets a written answer that this is okay, I permit that. He gets 2 signatures there. He goes straight. Next is the school where Kanya Shala, right? Kanya Shala is a she. The principal is a she. The next school, she is very, very tough. We cannot permit that because tables have to be changed. Okay, you take care of all the things on Sunday. We don't have any peons. You have to hire your own peon. Jalmani is a very smart man because his idea is to satisfy Shirdi Baba. No, he has to satisfy the DAG, Mr. Chawla, right? Very tough guy. So he's there, he goes there. Ultimately, he gets tables changed. Kar diya, that name was taken away from the first school, Kanya Shala, and then the second school he added, and then the school table, he brings a table, additional table is necessary. He brought a personal table and then kept it, her name there, Shavla's daughter's name. And then that evening he goes to the bungalow. When he goes to the bungalow, Shavla Sahab is very busy talking with the minister on the line. And then he goes there, the minister says, that's not possible, it's not possible. And then here is Jalmani saying, I've already done that, sir. Saab, to kaam to ho gaya. So why do you worry? And then he gives him a pat on the back, and the next week Jalmani gets a promotion also, and the daughter appears in the exam. The book doesn't say whether she passed or not. That's not a very good information we need here. All that I say is Shirdi Baba gave a good solution, a very good solution, a very implementable solution, and therefore Jalmani Roy is very, very happy. That is building the trust. He is on his way, I told you, right? This building the trust in May 1959. Let's jump to August 1960. This is about big roses. Jalmani Shinoy's father was very fond of gardening. Very fond of gardening and very fond of roses. He bought several big roses, beautiful roses, the kind of which was not available anywhere in India. And therefore he was sowing them, and then he was having all these things. One day he brought one of those special roses for Shirdi Baba. They were all devotees of Shirdi Baba, therefore he kept one on his feet. Our Jalmani was a young man, and then he goes there into the altar, and then he sees these big roses, and then when he sees that, Baba, I'm going to make a very difficult task before you. I'm going to ask for this rose. The way he asked was different. I'm just making it short. I want this particular rose because I have never seen such a big rose. Therefore, when can you give it to me? You take your, jolly well, you take your time, but then I want this big red rose, 10 times this size. And then that was a Monday. And then come Tuesday, come Wednesday, he is studying for his history exam. Thursday afternoon, he writes his history, BA history exam, and then he passes, he gets a good mark, B+, and then he comes there to the altar. Nothing had happened to the roses. Baba, today I want the rose in my hand. With your own hand, you have to hand it over to me in my hands. And therefore, about the exam, he says, thank you very much. I wrote the exam very well. I got a B plus. All these things. And then he closes his eyes, and then his hands are like this. A rose comes and falls on his hand. Don't think this happened only with Jalmani Shinoy. Dr. Sejal, who is living in DFW area, what is the town called?
Frisco. Parker.
Not Frisco. Parker, yeah. Parker. It was a God-forsaken place about 20 years ago. Now, Parker, you cannot buy anything for less than $2.5 million. Such a developed area Parker is. Am I right? Dr. Sejal one day was praying, and a flower came into her hand in a trajectory and then fell in her hand. A photograph was sent to me, and then she described in a beautiful email. Perhaps she is listening to the story. She is a dental surgeon. Our dental surgeon may know Dr. Sejal. And this flower came, and then Dr. Jalmani Shinoy doesn't know Dr. Sejal, and neither the other. And then when the flower came, he was very, very surprised, and he was wondering, what is that Shirdi Baba cannot do? The trust increases. This is only a second miracle, right? He has seen so much through his father, but the second miracle itself is taken aback by whatever Shirdi Baba, whatever you ask, he will give. It's like asking in the 1 minute silence that we do in this puja. You ask, with great trust you build and you ask, you will get it. So many people are reporting to me in their email, thank you uncle, this came to me. So much is happening in this world if you develop trust in this uncle who is here live. The third one that developed extraordinary trust is, he used to do the audit work in a mine called Kandri. This Kandri mine is near Nagpur in Madhya Pradesh. Is Madhya Pradesh? Huh? Nagpur is in Maharashtra. That's why I asked you. Maharashtra, yeah. The map comes like this. It's the last one. Yeah, Maharashtra, right? Raghumama knows. He lived in Maharashtra. He's a son of Maharashtra, therefore. Okay. So he is not in Madhya Pradesh. He is in Maharashtra. Shirdi is in Maharashtra, right? Shirdi, okay. So Maharashtra, all these things of Shirdi Baba is doing so much of miracle near Shirdi. He used to do, when he was returning from audit work from Kandri mine, they used to go to a bus stop called the Mansar bus stop. When he stands in the Mansar bus stop, it's very late, it is past night, 8:30, 9 o'clock. He doesn't know, 3 buses go there, they don't stop because overcrowded days, and that day happened to be a Thursday, and therefore there was a Shirdi Baba temple there, so many devotees, therefore the buses never stopped. There is a big team from Kandri mine. He sent our Jalmani Shinoy sent all those people back to Kandri mine quarters. He wanted to go home, and therefore he was standing there. He was praying to Shirdi Baba. Baba, what's going on now? Can you not send me a bus? And Baba was testing him. He said, but unless you get tested, you will never come to develop trust with Shirdi Baba. You need lots of tests. All those who don't go through tests will not develop a lot of trust. These people remain knowing Shirdi Baba. I'm talking about knowing to trust, right? Jalmani Shinoy is waiting there. About 20 minutes later, a bus comes. Fully loaded bus, and then it goes. Like in some other cities like Chennai, the conductor driver will go past the bus stop, actual bus stop, and stop there about 25 feet. Because there is that's an indication that in India, every city is doing that, right? Yeah, our uncle says, yes, that happens in Visakhapatnam also. All right. And therefore, he goes there 25 feet, and he is wondering, okay, it's night, it's pitch dark, and then how do I walk back to Kandri mine? It's a good, 12 miles, 10 miles, and he is wondering at that point, the bus conductor, he just peeps out. How conductors get out of the bus without getting out. He said, Saab, aap aa jaiye. Exact word in the book, Saab. Saab, sir, you please come. So he goes there, he gets there, is fully loaded, he gets there, the conductor stands, and then he said, take my seat. So he takes the seat of the conductor, and then the bus starts. He's wondering, How come the conductor called me? There ought to be a reason, right? Unless you have seen the story, you won't know the reason. They go about 100 yards, and then heavens explode, and then this starts raining cats and dogs. Very heavy rain, and then there is visibility has come down to 10 feet, 5 feet, no visibility, and then he cannot drive. He goes there, and then the bus falls into a ravine nearby next field where there is knee-deep water. The whole bus is going down. All the ladies and children, they are all crying, shouting. They are all praying to God. Some of them pray to Shirdi Baba too. And the bus driver, very, very bold man, he jumps out of the bus and then gets all the gents out. In India, gent means men. Okay, all the gents get out and then try to push everybody start getting out, and then including Jalmani Shinoy, because he was the first person close to the door. He gets out, conductor's seat in India. He gets out, keeps the door open with his right hand. He keeps the door open. All gents are coming out, all men are coming out to pull the car. At that time, a strange hand comes in. I'm not talking about camera hand, okay? All of you are thinking, what? Was he wearing a gloves, thick gloves? No. This is different. A hand comes and then catches hold of the ring that Jalmani Sinha. He catches hold of his right hand, very, very tight, and then he says, everybody, the bus driver and conductor, everybody, about 35 men out of the 47 people, 15 men, they push the bus onto the road. The driver jumps into the driver's seat of the bus, and then Jalmani Shinoy doesn't even know, he just doesn't see the hand, iron-fisted hand. He gets into the bus. And then while getting into the bus, he is turning around. Who is that person who is holding my hand? He was pushing the bus. He was holding and then pushing the bus, just thinking, and then the bus comes out of the water, knee-deep water, and then the bus starts, and then he is wondering, he is turning around, and then the tough fellow who was holding his hand is walking and then vanishes. Jalmani Shinoy. You have to remember, 1961 is not that far away, right? It is not like 1000 years ago, Rajaraja Cholan was meeting the northern Chalukyas in Karnataka, and then southern Chalukyas, he already Vimaladitya and his son-in-law married Kundavai. 1000 years ago, no. This is 1961 story. You can easily visualize and then get into the story. I get into the stories whenever I read thousands and thousands of current devotee stories. I get into that. I often think about the 2-year-old rebel. I want to see that picture. Someday that devotee will show me. And then show the person also who was trying to say, oh, if that is a rebel, you must be a bigger rebel. So I don't want to marry you. It's all right. Saab, chalte hain to the next story. Now he understands beautifully so much about Shirdi Baba. I'm from the what mine? Kandri mine. Jalmani Shinoy, his wife Mani, and 2 sons. They have 2 sons. They want to go and meet Shirdi Baba in Shirdi. Look what happens. When he is going there, one Paranjipai gives 3 rupees. He says, I'll take this 3 rupees. This is meant for a particular purpose. You go there and find out a hungry man and then get a thali for 3 rupees. Conditions. Because Paranjipai was a very big man. He was something like LIC district superintendent, or he was a deputy CEO of LIC in those days. Lot of money, lot of salary. He was a DM. Okay. So Paranjipai gives that, and then along with that his family and friends give 27 requests. When you go there, somebody says, bring that mala. When you get somebody, you get this sweet meat. Baba likes it. Somebody says you give, 2 coins, 2 quarter-anna coins, you drop in Shirdi Baba Samadhi Mandir Hundi. All these things, 27 requests, they go there and go into Samadhi Mandir. When they go to Samadhi Mandir and fulfill all these things, all the 27 requests very meticulously. Who? Mani, Srimati Mani, and then our, what's his name? Jalmani Shinoy. Jalmani is fulfilling everything. They come out of the Samadhi Mandir. They get out into the street. They want to go to the hotel. At that time, a very charming looking fakir. He's walking towards them. He's an old man with a white beard. He comes and says, so where are you going, all of you? कहाँ जा रहे हैं? He said, हम होटल जा रहे हैं हम तो सब कुछ हो गया इधर. He says, you have not done everything done. Are you done with all the things, all the 27 people? He says, 27 people. Have you done all those things in Arati? Have you given everything in the hundi? He said, Jalmani says very confidently, I have done everything. My dear old man, I meticulously do things. I said, हम जानते हैं. Old man says, I know that. But then, what is that? Tell us, what is that I missed? To which the old man very smilingly laughs, and then several stories. The old man, when Baba comes as an old man, even today in New Delhi, what is the famous temple in New Delhi? Lodi Road. He comes every Sunday night as an old Brahmin, and it started with Ashalata, Srimati Ashalata Nanda, a very great devotee, just like Jalmani, just like you are, just like our Jyoti Garu. He comes as an old man at 8:45 and 9. Ashalata Nanda, Srimati ji, waits there with his khichdi in hand, and then he hands over to that Brahmin fellow. He comes as a Brahmin, she writes, and then hands over, and then he smiles, he touches her cheek, and then say, bless us, and then takes a khichdi, eats a khichdi and vanishes. Ashalata has seen this so many times. She has written so many emails in famous magazines of Chandrabhanu Satpathy ji's books. I have read that, and I like to see her. And here, the old man says, what is it you have forgotten? You have forgotten to buy the thali for 3 rupees. You did 27 requests. The 3 rupees was a major one. Aap bhul gaye. You have forgotten. Therefore, he said, ho nahi sakta. Cannot be true. He tells that old man, it cannot be true. I am a very meticulous man. Everybody is meticulous. I erased your memory. 3 rupees memory I erased, and therefore now I am reminding you. Baba, when he comes before you, you will have a big laundry list. When he comes before you, he will erase the laundry list. Even Pativratas cannot recollect. Pativratas are great women. Some people want to become Pativrata, right? One of them will achieve, 2 of them will achieve. But then the laundry list doesn't work with Pativrata. When Baba comes before you, you will forget everything. Ask something. You'll say, there is nothing to ask. You have come before me. That is enough. So, 3 rupiah. And then he said, you have to feed a hungry man. Here is the hungry man. He even brought a hungry man. There is no problem for Jalmani or Srimati Mani or the 2 sons. So he goes there into the canteen. There is a canteen, Sansan canteen, and gets, in those days, it was, thali was plate. Thali means plate. Thali food was 3 rupees in those days, 1961, right? So 3 rupiah, kharid liya. He bought it and then gave it to the man, and then brought some water, and then he was drinking. He didn't speak anything. The old man is watching. He ate the entire thing, and then he gives water. Chinmani Srimati Maniji gives water, and then he takes water and drinks. And then he turns around, keeps all this thing around. He turns around to thank them. He was not there. Even the old man who created this, another old man who is none other than Shirdi Baba, both were missing, vanishing. This vanishing act Baba always does. I have seen with my own naked eyes Sri Narsimha Saraswati going, and Anima Mahima Siddhi became from a normal height of Sri Narsimha Saraswati into a point. Saw with my own eyes in Kashi. These are all miracles that you have to see it to believe. But since it is 1961, if I say 2011 miracles, the rebel miracle is just 1 week old. 2-year-old girl. How can 2-year-old girl in any picture, unless he is wearing a mask of a rebel, 2-year-old, they can never become a rebel. The 2-year-old girl was very, very nubile meaning marriageable. She is such a beauty, right? Because the same woman currently is a very beautiful woman. I know her. So, look at all the development. All these things are given for a purpose. And Jalmani Shinoy was really, really surprised. His trust keeps on growing. His trust while going, it is still not complete. Do I have time for one more circus miracle? Yeah. Oh no, I don't have time. Can I say one more circus miracle and then go to the puja? Everybody in agreement with our professor and Mrs. Professor. Very simple miracle. He used to do an insurance business, Jalmani Shinoy, because he had a very poor salary in that DAG's office in Nagpur. So when he was doing, he thought, I'll do an insurance business. In India in those days, even today, people become insurance agent. They become manager of LIC. They become all state insurance. They got offices in India. All American companies they have. So even, what? Somebody said something? No. So he goes there as an insurance agent. On Sunday, he has got some tests to be done in a city about 20 miles away. That city, he goes there, and that was a Sunday. Everybody else is resting. This is May 1964. This is a defense project, DAG project. So he is doing audit, and then, sorry, he is not doing audit. He is doing his insurance business, home to home, house to house. He is hopping and then getting money. He returns home at 4 p.m. When he comes home at 4 p.m., he is very, very tired because 6 days he has worked in DAG's office. Now it's insurance business. He made good business, good money, and then comes home. He tells Srimati Mani, and then I'm very tired. Make me a cup of chai. ठीक है, चाय तो मिल गया. When she is making tea, the two sons come there and said, Papa, take us to the circus. In Nagpur, the circus came just that week on Wednesday, and that was the first Sunday. And the first Sunday, India is in circuses, the whole city of, half the city of Nagpur will go. Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Bangalore, Sholapur, everywhere is the case. Kanpur is the case. First Sunday, whole city will go to circus, and these two boys are asking, Dad, please take us. The dad says, he doesn't know how to say no. The wife comes at Mani ji comes there and said, Daddy is very tired, let him take rest, let's go. During the week sometime on Wednesday, Thursday. They are insisting they should go only that day because there is school next week and all that. Therefore, he goes there. Jalmani Shinoy knows full well that the tickets won't be available. He will go there for a walk until then, take a bus and go and come back. There's nothing else to do. So he goes, takes there. While going in a bus, he is praying to Shirdi Baba. Baba, this is a very tough task. How do I go and get tickets for these two sons and Srimati ji? So 3 tickets, I can stand outside the tent. In those days, the tent is a circus in India, even today. So the tent, he goes there, he can't even go to the ticket counter, there's so much of jostling crowd, and therefore he goes there, he's telling everybody, it's two sons says, Daddy, let's go forward to the window. The window is not visible, so many heads are seen. And when he was about to give up, when the others are about to give up, he says, let's keep going towards the window. When he is keeping going towards the window, a very well-dressed gentleman, extremely highly well sophisticated dress, he comes there, he talks with Jalmani Shinoy. He tells direct, he says, I have 4 first-class tickets. I am not using them. I am going to give it to you. 4 first-class tickets, very rare in those days for getting first class for the circus. Because in circus, you got to be in the front row, right, to see all those elephants and buffoons playing around, fooling around. Therefore, gets all the 4, and then he turns around, he tells Srimati Mani ji, they are all very happy, they don't look at the gentleman. Jalmani Roy is about to give him money, he just said, wait a minute, saab, hum paisa de denge, and then he turns around to take the money from his pocket, and with the money he turns. Obviously, I need not tell you, the highly sophisticated dressed person who sold 4 first-class tickets for the same price, no discount, is gone. Jalmani Roy says, this and 8 more miracles happened, and I have all the 8 miracles. If I tell you, you won't reach home. While driving, you will think of Jalmani Shinoy, Srimati Maniji, and the buffoons in the circus, and then the 2,500 rupees you will keep, and then you will drive all the way to South Haven, my home. Your home is in Flower Mound. Mamaji will come to our home. At least that's a good chance for him to come, right? Because Vishwanath keeps saying, I'll come, I'll definitely come home on a Sunday. On a Sunday, he's very, 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 very busy with Hanumanji, Kari Siddhi Hanumanji. Hanumanji छोड़ते नहीं. वो उधर जाते हैं, and then he goes there and then he says, Uncle, yeah, I know, Hanumanji. So don't worry about it. Otherwise, he's willing to come to our home. Lalitaji says, let's go and meet with Uncle. Uncle will say so many stories. She is a great devotee. That devotee has got lots of challenges. She talks with me and then the challenges are gone. Once upon a time, she lost in Las Vegas 32 lakhs of rupees jewels. The mother had given to her. Dear darling daughter, you keep 32 lakhs. She went to Las Vegas with her two friends. It was lost from her room. She waited 12 long years. 12th year she was in touch with me. I said, the fellow who suddenly resurfaced wants to marry you is the person who stole your jewels. Now he wants to steal you. Jewels first, 32 lakhs, now he wants to steal you. What little is left with you? Maybe you have a Genesis car, maybe you have a Porsche. He will steal everything overnight. So, she for the first time found out this is a true story. Somebody is going to say yes. Yes, uncle. 12 years later, when you come to Shirdi Baba or Shirdi Baba, there's no difference. You come to uncle. Uncle solves the problem in one sentence. She found the thief and then she said, I won't even live in the street where he is living. He is not living in that city where she is living currently. Similarly, Jalmani Shinai went through so many miracles. So many miracles are happening in and around the people who send me emails. I keep on reading emails, except when I am taking my lunch. I am not reading my emails, but while doing my lunch, what do? My wife knows. On the left hand, I am taking lunch and I am talking with the 36-year-old rebel. All right? I'm just saying that. She's a very beautiful, charming woman of 36. All right? Jalmani Shinai's miracles, I have told you. They saw the circus. Jalmani Shinai and Srimati Mani went on looking around. The children were left inside. The buffoon was entertaining. Jalmani Shinai was outside the circus tent looking for that suited and booted, sorry for the Indian idiom, suited and booted gentleman. They never found him. He definitely found him in the next miracle. He definitely found him all his life until 1939 when he passed away. To develop, this is the last sentence, I am finishing. To develop a good trust, it doesn't take several janmas. Within your janma, this janma you can develop extraordinary trust. How do you develop? One of the books says, but my own theory, that theory is my own theory, developed all my life, is never get into too many things. Concentrate only on one thing. When you are studying for MCAT, young students who I know are going to appear come April 2nd week, they will study only for MCAT. Don't even look at the TV. Don't even talk with your dad and mom unless it's very necessary. When you're doing orthopedic surgery, don't worry about the two hands, the robotic arms that comes into the two holes. There are 3 holes surgeons do. One hole is for the carbon dioxide. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is for a surgery to remove the fibroids. One is carbon dioxide sent enough by another MD, very great specialist, they do that. And then the robotic things go on. This is called a laparoscopic, am I right? Laparoscopic surgery. In this surgery, the surgeon has to carefully watch that the 2 arms are doing the tying up of the muscles and removing on the wall a fibroid very close to the closer down the fibroid on the walls Very close is another part of the body. It shouldn't cut that body. So the surgeon is taking care. There's a huge TV. A camera is sent inside. On the TV they can watch huge. The carbon dioxide makes it bigger so they can view all these things. So much of science. Wait until another 2 years. The artificial intelligence will do the entire surgery. If the surgeon goes wrong, it's going to tell them very harshly, said that's a wrong move. Okay, let me do the surgery. The artificial intelligence will guide the robot. It's all 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So doctors and IT engineers are going to have a very exciting career, both ITs and doctors. One helping the other down the road. Both of them will make tons and tons of money. Because artificial intelligence jobs will start at 250K. What today is 89K. Shilpa and Sudha are wondering, oh, we were a little early in the IT area. We should have been born 5 years late. That's also possible if you develop trust in Shirdi Baba. Right? If your job is ending in March, last day, Shirdi Baba would keep a job because you have one is trust. You come to all the puja, another job will be ready for you to take over. If the child in Fremont, California falls from this thing, there is no pillow on the floor, the child doesn't get into any problem. It falls a good 5 feet, 4.5 feet. There's no problem for the child. It's kicking and thriving. A lot of issues come in your life, but then become another Jalmani Shinoi. Become another, Bhivpuri gentleman, Pradhan. That is the research I am doing. What is this trust? When you go to Lord Shiva's puja in the temple, Baba temple, do you ask for the trust? You develop a trust with Lord Shiva, or you develop a trust with Sripada Shivallabha, or you develop a trust with Matangi Maharani. If you worship Matangi, you will get very happy lives, you will get lots of wealth, you will get very good wives, you got very good spouse, you get very good children, you got a very good job, you got a very big bungalow. That is true. But how do you recognize Matangi Maharani? Can you recognize Parvati Devi? You see great soap in Tamil. Do you really see when Parvati Devi comes before you, can you recognize that person? That's the right answer. You cannot. Because Parvati Devi will come as your friend, college mate, as your roommate. Both the roommates are smiling. Engineering college roommates, they may come as. Shirdi Baba will come to your home as me, host. Our host has got a tremendous experience 10 years ago. 10 years approximately. 12 years ago. Baba came to their home, but he was in a different shape. He looked like me, sakshat like me, when I was working in the airport, doing intelligence work. Baba was in their home. But the behavior was unlike uncle. She confirmed it. I remember her words crystal clear. There was one person I didn't know in their company, in their hall, in the old home, not this home, with whom I spoke very strange things. Something about you are not coming, you are not in touch with me, you are here to take the sweets. I even took a peda and gave it to that person. Raghu Mama was also working, otherwise that peda would have gone to him. He's very fond of peda. Some of the top secrets I revealed, right? But you will all be asking, who is that rebel? 2-year-old rebel. I'm not going to tell you. You find that charming woman someday and say, hey, you are the rebel, right? She's not going to tell you the answer. With that question, I finish his Leelas. And with this, I hope you will develop a great trust. You are on the road now. You just recognize the name? No. You recognize the trust. He is live in this picture, and then some of you have seen, I have seen him several times as a child, 3 times as an adult. I know I have spoken with him in beautiful English and beautiful Hindi. He didn't speak with me in Marathi, Hindi and English. In Kanathukaduvu, he spoke with Lakshmi in beautiful Tamil. In Umamaheshwar Rao dream, when he went to Dwarakamayi, he spoke with Sri Umamaheshwar Rao, very famous devotee of Andhra Pradesh. I lectured on him Miracle after miracle. One book is full of miracles. He spoke the first time in Dwarakamayi is there, Sri Sri B. Umamesha B, right? He spoke with him in English. He spoke with him loudly so that the persons who accompanied Sri B. Umameshwara wrote down in English. With a devotee other than me, Baba never spoke in English. Umameshwara he chose because he's a great devotee. Huh? Okay.
Last year,
Oh. Oh, it's the same place. Jyoti Gaura's place, Professor's place. Okay. I forget, I talk with so many people every day. That tends to become a satsang. Yesterday, 1 hour and 30 minutes, I spoke with a doctor. And that was more than a satsang. The doctor said, Mama, do the same thing tomorrow. What a wonderful satsang. I said, no, I've already chosen Jalmani Shinoy and Bhivpuri. Otherwise, that talk yesterday would become a beautiful satsang. She liked it so much. Let's now do the Ashtotaram. Every Ashtotaram that I am uttering has got power. You do the Om Sri Dwarakamayi. After listening to that, you do Om Sri Dwarakamayi. And whenever in your home, you can do it. There are no limitations. A Houston devotee, Sri Sri Jayachandra and Madhavi ji, his wife, did it 11 times just 2 weeks ago. 11 times, consecutive 11 days. They had something in their mind for their daughter, for not moving to Chicago, Illinois, for coming back to Houston, buying a home in Illinois, in the place. So much you ask for. When you develop a trust, simultaneously he will clear all these things. Best example, the autistic boy has started talking words. 2 years ago, no words. He was just touching the cheek of a mother and could not speak. Today he has started speaking. All these miracles are possible with Shirdi Baba, Sri 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 Narasimha Saraswati, Sri 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 Pada Sri Vallabha. All these Sadgurus, if you win their trust, anything is possible. With that great sentence, thank you for being here. Let's do the puja. I never touched on the negative side of this satsang. There is a very great negative side to this satsang which I didn't mention. Of those people who just came to me and dropped me like a hot potato 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 months ago, 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago. There are a number of people, more than 150 persons. I traced some of them. They ate a humble pie in front of Shirdi Baba. They came across inconceivable troubles in their life. I used to tell them, don't go away. You need not call me every month. You call me once a quarter. There is a person in Washington, D.C. whose son is a big tennis star. He started calling me when he was playing a tournament every other day. He made a clean sweep of all the tournaments. He won all the tournaments, Senthil's son. Every match he went, he's so tall, people used to go away. He wins. One backhand, the whole earth, like Shiva walks, like Shiva dances. One backhand, the opponent goes away. He can't take it. He can't face the speed of the ball, maybe 120 miles. Better than John McEnroe, Bjorn Borg, that Swedish guy, right? Billie Jean King was telling the other day, the female tennis star of the United States, I can't dream of the current tennis stars. Jensen, for example, who is trained by a Shirdi Baba devotee, Amrit. Jensen is playing top-notch tennis today because a Shirdi Baba. He used to come to the satsang. Today he is not coming because he is today playing in Dubai. His student, Jensen, is playing in Dubai, a match, a tournament, last 4 days. He played in Doha, went to Dubai, and then he is coming back. He is going to perhaps Wimbledon, perhaps US Open. How is he becoming? He was in the top 200. He became in the top 100. Today he is in the top 75, 50. Someday he is going to become one of the top 10. Are you ready, camera?
Ready?
Ready, Kishore? Om Shri Sai. Om Shri Sai Sri Sai Nadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sri Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Shri Sai Krishna Rama Siva Maruti Yati Rupaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sesha Sai Ne Namaha. Om Shri Sai Godavari Tadashiladi Vasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Hridayalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Hridayalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bodhavasaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarva Hridayavasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bodha Bhavishya Pava Varjitaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kalathitaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kala Kalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Kala Darpa Damanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Amartyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Martya Abhayapradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jivadaryaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jivadaryaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarvadaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhaktavana Pradiknyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhaktavana Samarthaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Annavastradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Arogyakshemedaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Arogyakshemedaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Dhanamangalya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Riddhi Siddhidaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Putra Mitra Kalatra Bandhudaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Yoga Shema Vahaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Apad Bandhavaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Marga Bandhave Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakti Mukti Bhukti Swarga Pavargadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Priyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Preeti Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Antaryamine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sachidatmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Nityanandaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Paramasugataya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Parameshwaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jnana Swarupine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jagadapitreya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhaktanam Matru Datru Pitamahaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Paradinaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Anugraha Kataraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Prema Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Samshaya Hridaya Daurbalya Papa Karnavasana Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Hridaya Granthi Bedagaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Karmadvamsine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sutta Sasvastidaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Gunadita Gunatmane Namaha. Ananta Kalyana Gunaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Amita Parakramaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jaine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Jaine Namaha. Durdarsha Shobhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Aparajitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Trilekeshu Avigata Gataye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Asakya Rahidaya Namaha. Sarva Sakti Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Sakti Murtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Swarupa Sundaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sulokshanaya Namaha. Bahiruba Vishwamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Arubhavyaktaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Ashintaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sushmaya Namaha. Sarvantaryamine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Manovagatitaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prema Murtaye Namaha. Sulabha Durlabhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Anathanatha Dina Bandhave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Bharapate Namaha. Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Om Sri Sai Akarmaneka Karma Sukarmine Namaha. Punya Shravana Kirtanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Tirthaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Vasudevaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satam Gataye Namaha. Satparayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Loganadaya Namaha. Bhavananagaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amritansave Namaha. Om Sri Sai Amritansave Namaha. Bhaskara Prabhaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satyadharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddheshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Sankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Siddha Sankalpaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Yogeshwaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Bhagavate Namaha. Bhakta Vatsalaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satpurusaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Purushottamaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satyadharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Satyadharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Avedanandanubhava Pradaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Kamadi Sadvairi Dvamsine Namaha. Samasarvamata Sammataya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Venkatesa Ramanaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Prabhannartiharaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Samsara Sarva Dukkha Shayakaraya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarvantar Bahistidaya Namaha. Om Sri Sai Sarva Mangalagaraya 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 Namaha. Om श्री साई सर्वाभीष्टप्रदाय नमः। समरस षण्मार्गस्थापनाय नमः। ओम श्री साई समर्थ सद्गुरु साईनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री साई साईनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री साई अनंतकोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक राजाधिराज योगिराज परब्रह्म श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री साईनाथ महाराज की। I need not remind you that in this 1 minute you can conquer the world. With that we will do the Aarti.
शिर्डी माझे पंढरपूर साई बाबा रमावर साई रमावर साई बाबा रमावर शुद्ध भक्ती चंद्रभागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा भाव पुंडलिक जागा याहू याहू अवघे जन करा बाबासी वंदन साईसी वंदन करा बाबासी वंदन गणू म्हणे बाबा साई धाव पाव माझे आई पाव माझे आई धाव पाव माझे आई।
साईनाथ महाराज।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः। ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
ॐ साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः। सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः।
साई नमो नमः। श्री साई नमो नमः। जय जय साई नमो नमः सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः
ॐ साई नमो नमः श्री साई नमो नमः जय जय साई नमो नमः सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः
ॐ साई नमो नमः श्री साई नमो नमः जय जय साई नमो नमः सद्गुरु साई नमो नमः